keep it to post on our social media. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We have Gabriella here from our partner university in Sorrento, Italy, Sant'Anna Institute. She's going to talk to us a little bit more about what students can expect from a semester study abroad at Sant'Anna. So, with that, Gabriella, I'm going to pass the mic to you, and we're excited to hear what you have to share.
Thank you, Alex. Hi, everyone. My name is Gabriela. I am the Assistant Director Study Abroad here at Sant'Anna Institute, Sorrento. And I'm happy to share a little bit more about the programs we offer in Sorrento. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen. Okay. You should be able to see my screen now. Okay. So yeah, we like to start by showing you a picture of where our main campus is located. This brownish grayish building block, that is main campus building. That's where all classes are held, and as you can see, it's just above the marina, which means just above sea level. Students in between classes like to go for a swim or scroll down. I think we have somebody in the waiting room.
I got her admitted. That's Ashley, so she's
Okay,
from our
cool.
office as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is one of our cool pictures that we'd like to show. Yeah, so I'm not sure if you've ever heard about Sorrento at all, but I'd like to give you some information. So Sorrento is a small city in the south of Italy. We're about 4 hours drive below Rome. Which means we are pretty much in the south. We're in a region called Campania. And I've personally lived in Toronto most of my life, so I can give you relatable information. So, being a medium-sized city, it is walkable and pretty much safe. When I say walkable, I mean like students do not need to get any public transportation when moving around Toronto itself. It is mainly students walking to classes, walking from their accommodation to main campus or to the city center. Everything is very, very much well connected, and all distances are very well covered on foot. So in the south of Italy, especially in Sorrento, we're known to be very welcoming. The southern hospitality is something the people mention when they speak about us, and pretty tight knit community. We do appreciate a lot our students to choose Sorrento as a study abroad destination as they become part of that community. I also want to reassure you that if you do not speak a single word of Italian, that will be completely fine. There is a good amount of people who are actually English speakers, as in English is, first of all, taught at a very young age in the area where we live. And secondly, hospitality is very big in Sorrento, so people will be able to speak to you in English. Although we do recommend you to take an Italian class during your time at Sant'Anna, that would be great. It's not mandatory, but it is highly recommended. I'm sure you'll be able to make your way around even the first couple of days when you might just not say ciao, come stai, and just like basic small talk. So yeah, we're very friendly, very welcoming. As I mentioned, especially we do appreciate and value a lot the input that our students give to our territory. Why choose Sorrento? Choose Sorrento because of the weather, because of the location. As I mentioned, we're just above sea level, so the climate is pretty mild, sun-drenched the whole year round. Very typical Mediterranean climate. The food is amazing, and not just because I live here, but everything is like locally produced. The Mediterranean diet is something we're known kind of worldwide. And so we do stick to local food, local produce. As a matter of fact, the first week of every program, we do take students on a grocery shopping tour of our city center of Sorrento, showing them like where to buy the local grocery, where to buy the local bread, the local meat, etc. So it's a very, very authentic experience, I would say. It is an international location not only for academics, but also for tourism, arts, architecture, history, archaeology. It is an area rich of opportunities, things to see, things to do. But I'll be explaining a little bit about that later. And Sorrento is just an hour away from Naples. Naples is what would be the closest big city to Sorrento. Therefore, any of the students traveling would be starting in Naples, which means once you're in Naples, it's pretty easy to connect to the rest of the cities in the whole of Italy, but also to the rest of the cities in Europe, if you're interested in traveling. These are just some cool pictures that we took the last summer. The picture with the sunset is what would be your walk to Sant'Anna if at sunset, if you would be living off campus. The picture above to the top right is a picture of Sant'Anna from behind. So you can see our main campus building there. You can see the view. And the third picture to the left is, to the right, sorry, it is one of the main and the most popular hikes that we host here in Sorrento, where we just like to take our students on walk. And this is one of the best ones we have. But I'll be talking about that student life part later. So yeah, here we are on the map. We are right at the point of that peninsula. On one side, we face the Bay of Naples, and on the other side, we face the Bay of Salerno, with a very famous Amalfi Coast. So Positano is only about 40-minute drive from us, Amalfi about 1 hour drive from us, and Ravello. The islands of Capri, Ischia, and Procida are just right in front of us in terms of like in geographically. It's simple as getting on a ferry, hopping on a ferry, and getting to in 50 minutes to those islands. So it's very easy to commute to them too. Pompeii, the ruins of Pompeii are only about 35-minute train journey from Sorrento. Ruins, excavation site of Herculaneum, about 50-minute train journey. And Mount Vesuvius, which is kind of opposite Sant'Anna, along the Bay of Naples. It is, by the way, the only active volcano in mainland Europe. And so it's a great local point of interest. I mentioned that once you're in Naples, it's very easy to reach to the rest of the cities all over Italy. We have a very efficient high-speed train line that connects the major cities. So just to give you some ideas, Naples to Rome, that is only about 1 hour minute train journey. Naples to Florence, that's about 3 hours. Naples to Venice, Milan, or Bologna, that's about 4 hours and a half. So it's pretty easy to be connected to the rest of Italy. And then once you're in Naples airport, which is, by the way, an international airport, which means you should be able to find some flights from the US, direct flights too. And from Naples airport, there you can reach to over 100 destinations, and I mean like the major capital cities in Europe. For example, Paris, Barcelona, Amsterdam, London, Vienna, Dublin, Madrid, and so on. So moving on to our main campus specifically, these are the programs we offer. So we offer 2 semesters, a fall semester and a spring semester. They are both 15 weeks, which means students do need to apply for a study visa. They include a week of fall and spring break. We then have 3-week J-term program, 3-week Maymester program, and in May, J-term is in January, and then 3 summer sessions. Summer session 1, that is 5 weeks from the beginning of June to the beginning of July. Summer session 2 are 5 weeks from the beginning of July to the beginning of August. And summer session 3, students can decide to stay for the full 10 weeks. So it takes summer session 1 and summer session 2. We have a long history in study abroad. This is our 27th year being in the business. Therefore, we have a pretty prestigious role in Sorrento. Our students, as I mentioned, are very, very welcome. We do appreciate their input a lot. A lot of our students also intern in local businesses in Sorrento. So we do like to make them part of our strong community. The staff is very friendly. We're very there to help students manage any issue, question, or anything that they'd like to discuss about, we're very available and open to hear from them. We're centrally located, which means we're in the heart of Sorrento. As I mentioned, everything is pretty easy to get to, very easy to walk to. Our main campus is attended 24/7, which means students can always rely on people from our offices, whether it's at the weekend or nighttime. Our facilities are open for students to access. In terms of student services, we do believe that, of course, healthcare and mental health care is at the heart of the study abroad destination, so of the study abroad experience. So we do provide healthcare services for our students. We have Sant'Anna GP doctors on site 3 times a week for students to see free of charge. We have mental health care counselors that see our students about 3 times per week on site, again free of charge. We have just launched a Sant'Anna app, which is for students to use once they're here in Sorrento to not only navigate the course schedules, the activity calendar, sign up for activities, but also access and learn how to navigate the city of Sorrento, which means on the app, students can get to the closest train station, students can easily access the bus schedule, students can access a number of places that offer Sant'Anna students a percentage of discounts. For example, the local gym, the local restaurant, local beauty salon, just to give you some examples. We offer Sant'Anna study skills and tutoring resources with an academic support program available for students twice a week every term. We offer a 24/7 emergency number, which is an emergency line that students are very welcome to call whenever they are in need of our assistance, whether it's connected to their health, to their safety, or anything that needs immediate urgent assistance. They know that they can rely on a member of staff. We also assist with arrival days, so no matter what the program is, we will provide transportation to all students arriving at Naples Airport, which is, as I mentioned earlier, the closest airport to Sorrento. We will meet them at the airport, greet them, and then have shuttle buses ready for them to get on and to get off at their accommodation in Sorrento. It's just about an hour and 15 minutes drive. We will help students with the Italian entry requirements, not only the visa process, and this is mainly for semester students who will need to apply for a study visa in order to be able to apply to our programs. And then they will also have to apply for a permit of stay, which is what document the Italian government requires to legally reside for over 90 days. But that is something we will help the student and guide the student throughout the whole process. No matter what accommodation you will be assigned to, you will be offered housekeeping and maintenance resources, which means weekly cleaning, towels, sheets, bed and linen provided, kitchen equipment provided. Towels, linen, and sheets are also changed and cleaned by our cleaning staff on a weekly basis. So I would say our students are pretty spoiled in that sense. Moving on to academics, all our classes are taught that are taught at Sant'Anna are either 3 or 4 credit hours. Usually, the 4 credit hours courses are those courses that have a component of lab included. For example, our marine biology with lab class, that is a 4 credit class. Classes run Monday to Friday all day. In semesters, we try to leave classes on a Monday to Thursday, so the students can be available and free for their personal traveling at the weekend. Internship, if you're interested in taking an internship, those shifts may also happen on a Friday or weekends, depending on what kind of placement the student is assigned to. The classes are all taught in English, apart from Italian language classes. At Sant'Anna, we do believe a lot in the experiential learning model, which means most of our classes have some sort of connection with the landscape we live in. So I'm pretty sure you will find some classes that you won't be able to find in any other Italian destinations. And to give you some examples, we have a history of the mafia class, we have a history of Italian food and culture, archaeology, and all these classes have some kind of percentage of that class on the field. For example, our archaeology class I was mentioning, 25% of that class is on the field, which means the students take a day trip to the ruins of Pompeii and study on the field what they have learned in class. The marine biology class, they take a full day to the marine protected area of Yeranto, which is a marine protected area about 40 minutes away from Sorrento. The volcanology class hikes up Mount Vesuvius, and yeah, there's some field study up there, etc. Most of our classes do have some sort of do have some mandatory field visits included as part of that academic offering. Students are also able to sign up for a research program if they're interested in a particular field. And at the end of the study abroad program, it should be pretty easy and smooth to have your credits transferred over to your home school. That is because Sant'Anna Institute is an accredited institution, thanks to the School of Record, which is Jacksonville University in Florida, which means at the end of the semester, you will be issued an official transcript from Jacksonville University, and that is how you transfer those credits back to your home school. So these are the departments we offer: business studies and economics, cultural studies, classical studies, humanities and arts, Italian studies, sciences and natural sciences, engineering, health sciences, social sciences, and finally internship. And I'd like to present to you some of the classes. These are definitely the most popular classes. Again, I just want to make it clear that this is not a comprehensive list. It's just some of the ones I thought would be nice to include. So in the humanities department, for example, we have a very popular drawing on location class, history of Italian cinema, archaeology field study, philosophy. Our Italian department includes 6 courses of Italian language, including the intensive option, which is the possibility of taking Italian 101 plus Italian 102 in the same semester. Students are also able to take Italian literature classes. We offer 4 courses of Italian literature. Our business department includes a corporate finance class, hospitality class, marketing, food marketing, Italy and tourism, human resources. We have a new introduction to business of sport. Cultural studies, I mentioned the history of Italian food and culture, but also a very interesting class called Cultural Dialogues between Italy and the United States. Social sciences, a very popular history of the mafia. We have a human rights class, sustainability, media studies, psychology, social psychology, international organizations. Health sciences, human nutrition. Within our STEM department, we have a marine biology with lab, marine conservation, which is a higher level class in the field, chemistry, physics, volcanology, ecology. And finally, we will be launching a new engineering program starting for 2026, where students are very welcome to take some of the courses out of our curriculum if they're specifically engineering student, but also if students are interested in taking, for example, only one of the classes that you can see listed. So in the fall, we'll have a physics 2 class, calculus 2, statistics, and spring equations, mechanics, and thermodynamics. I also mentioned the opportunity of being able to take an internship here in Sorrento. So students taking an internship can either decide to take an internship for 3 credits or 6 credits. So the main difference is in the amount of hours students would be working for. So 3 credit internship that equalizes to 135 contact hours, whereas the 6 credit internship that adds up to 270 contact hours. So the internship, if you're interested in the internship program, you do need to have a 3.0 GPA or above. Our regular study abroad programs do require 2.5 GPA. So if you're thinking about taking an internship, you will have to have a slightly higher GPA of 3.0 or above. You will have to also be a rising junior or senior status. So it is a higher academic level course open to specific categories of students. Students who decide to apply for an internship will be contacted by our internship office to have a first meeting with the student, with the internship office, to kind of figure out what activity, what kind of placement they're looking for, what their expectations are. And so that is a great way to kind of start off on the right foot with our program, and kind of just talk it through with our internship office of what kind of experience you're looking for. Students are also assigned a faculty supervisor to follow the whole way through. So it is a very followed and guided program, which means students meet up with our internship office on a weekly basis, and they have to meet up with the faculty supervisor on a bi-weekly basis. Students will have to submit a midterm presentation, and at the end, a final e-portfolio. Students will be having a separate pre-departure orientation for interns only before they arrive in Sorrento, and then a separate orientation session for interns only on day one. So the internship placement must be in line with the student's major. So it is a great way to kind of get that kind of opportunity in your major studies, and be kind of certain that you will be able to take an internship in what you're studying. Plus, you'll be doing that abroad, which is obviously a great cultural experience. These are some of the examples of our placements in science. But our website page, the internship section, gives a number of examples even in the other departments. But in sciences, we offer placements in marine biology at the Marine Protected Area of Punta Campanella, or at an aquarium marine research center called Anton Dorn. Nutrition placements in local cuisine cooking schools, or farm-to-table restaurants and farmhouses. Exercise science in a number of fitness centers in Sorrento, and also engineering placement at a local rehab center called Villa delle Ginestre. So moving on to accommodations, students are able to select among 4 different types of accommodation options. The first option is the on-campus residence hall, which is the first picture at the top left of this presentation. That is also the same building that I showed you in the first slide. So that is main campus, where classes are held. On-campus residence hall, students can choose between single, double, triple rooms. If you have any particular medical need that you'd like to share with us, we highly recommend doing that, as we do prioritize students in single rooms if they share any particular medical requests or urge to be in a single room. So yeah, single, double, triple rooms with ensuite bathrooms. Students share a large kitchen area, and each room is assigned to a specific kitchen station. We can host between 75 to 80 students on campus per term. It is a self-catering option, which means students do have to cook and provide for their own food. Yeah, it does not include a meal plan. But again, it is on campus. So if you're looking at something which is more comfortable in terms of you getting out of bed and just walking a couple of flights down the stairs, and there will be your classrooms. We have a second residence hall, which has just recently been launched. It's the first picture to the left and below. That is called the Villa Yama. The villa has a meal plan for breakfast and dinner. There are double, triple rooms. It has a large outdoor area, of course, a cafeteria, because it includes a meal plan, and a rooftop swimming pool. Students are able to purchase a meal plan, and that's a meal plan that is served by, and the villa is actually run by an Italian local family, which means with about 42 students that we can host in the villa every term. That means it does become like a really nice community vibe, even up there, like a very feedback that I've frequently heard from students is that it becomes like a large host family, it being run by an Italian local family. The third option are shared apartments in Sorrento. They are all scattered around in the city center of Sorrento at a maximum distance of 25 minutes on foot. There you can also select between single, double, triple rooms, shared bathrooms, and shared kitchens. But our apartments can host up to, on average, I would say between 4 and 6 students. So you should not be expecting like large apartment blocks of student residents, but your neighbor could be like the local Italian elderly couple, the local Italian family. So it's kind of an accommodation which is immersed in the city center of Sorrento. And finally, the host family stays. That is definitely the least popular option, but most immersive, I would say. Every term, we get about 25 to 30 students who are interested in staying in a host family. Host family students are provided a meal plan on a daily basis. So students are provided breakfast and dinner. And again, the host families, we've been working with a number of host families that, of course, we trust and that we've been working with for years. And their homes, their apartments are in the city center of Sorrento again, so everything walkable distance at a maximum distance of 25 minutes on foot from main campus building. So these are the 4 accommodation options. If you decide to apply to Sant'Anna, I will be sharing with you a link to our application form where we ask for personal information, academics in terms of like what classes would you like to take. We then ask you also what kind of accommodation you would prefer and ask you to submit 3 preferences so that we can work and satisfy your requests. On a lighter note, I would say the last part of our presentation regards to our student life, student clubs, and activities we offer. So every term we open up a number of clubs that run again on a weekly basis. We have a sports club with like soccer, volleyball, table tennis tournaments that happen again on a weekly basis. Fitness and wellness with aerobics class, yoga classes, meditation classes, all of this at sunset in the summer period. So yoga sunset classes and yoga meditation and sunset meditation classes are very, very popular at Sant'Anna. Cooking Culture Club, so we teach students how to make the traditional dishes, traditional espresso coffee, traditional desserts, for example, tiramisu, but again, also pasta making classes, gnocchi making classes, and yeah, just typical dishes of the area. Outdoors and hiking club, I mentioned right at the beginning when I showed you some pictures. We like to take students on walks to the towns nearby, but also the hikes. Some of the most beautiful hikes in the area, for example, the Bay of Yeranto, which is the one in the picture above, the first picture. The Path of the Gods, which is a walk that just overlooks the bay of the whole Amalfi Coast. And arts and craft club, we have an Italian club for students to join if they're interested in learning more about our culture, a book club, themed event night, and finally service learning projects. We are incredibly increasing the offering that we have of our service learning projects because our students are really interested in those volunteering opportunities. We offer volunteering opportunities in local foster home, local soup kitchens, NGOs, all of them in the area of Sorrento and kind of Naples. We have a personal bus staff dedicated only to service learning, which means that students are able to, if they're interested in volunteering, to sign up to at least 1 or 2 volunteering and service learning opportunities per week. All of these are part of like the program fee that you would be providing for when you apply for Sant'Anna. So that means that they are all free of charge and no additional cost. We like to keep the student schedule busy, especially at the beginning of each program. So they have their schedule full, they have as many opportunities to meet the other people, the other students on the program, and just to kind of stay connected and involved in our community. So that is it for today. I like thank you for your attention. Make sure you follow our social media accounts, especially on Instagram. We have an official account and a student life account. The student life account is run by our students, so you want to make sure you follow that page too, so you get a better idea of what studying abroad at Sant'Anna actually means from a student perspective. TikTok account, Facebook, a LinkedIn account, of course, too. And I'd also like to leave my email address in the chat. If you like to reach out for any questions, I would be the first person to reach out to, as I oversee all enrollments. So if you're interested in study abroad at Sant'Anna, make sure you connect.
Awesome. Thank you so
Awesome.
much,
Thank you so
Gabriella. That was such a
much.
great presentation. Went over so many of those key details that I'm sure students are interested in. I do have one question, if you don't mind, to follow up on
Sure.
internships. That's been an area
Yes.
that a lot of students are increasingly like coming to us with questions about international internships and how that would work. I know you mentioned some of the locations that students can intern at. If a student is coming with no previous experience in Italian, how does that impact their ability to do an internship at Sant'Anna?
That's a great question. And actually, whenever students select an internship on our portal, there is a new section that comes up for interns only, where we ask students to give us more information about like previous experiences. And one of the questions is actually their Italian level, their knowledge of Italian. So based on that, we then work on the placement. So as I mentioned, a lot, especially in the hospitality field, so whenever it's like a marketing or a business student, it's very easy because all of the hospitality field placements do speak very, very good English. So we kind of redirect those students towards some placements that have better knowledge of Italian. Although the beginning, in the pre-departure sessions, or whenever those students have one-to-one meetings with our internship office, we do, of course, make it very clear that there will be cultural differences between their internship placement that they would be looking for in the US. Most of the companies and the placements that we offer are kind of not big corporate companies. There are a lot of them in the area like family run, and so they should not be expecting that kind of environment. And but of course, we do value a lot those opportunities. So, but we just like to make it clear since day one.
Yeah, absolutely. So it sounds like even if a student has no Italian, it's still possible for them to get a
Yes,
placement. They
yes,
might
yeah,
just be a
yeah.
little bit more limited with like certain specialized options or things like
Yes, 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 yes.
that. Okay.
But we have, yeah, a number of connections, and we kind of work with the student to find the best fit.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, well, thank you so much. Ashley, Grace, do either of you guys have any questions about anything that Gabriella shared?
Just that I want to enroll. It looks gorgeous.
Me too.
Thank you. Yeah.
Gabriella, I can't remember how many years ago, maybe it's been 3 years. I went to Sorrento on a family school trip. Um,
Okay.
we flew into Naples and spent about, I think 4 or 5 days in Sorrento. And then we went to, Amalfi and Capri but loved it. It was one of my favorite parts of the Italy trip, was Sorrento. So.
Great. So I'm happy you can confirm what I what
Yes,
I was bragging about. Yeah.
absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
my view, my and Alex knows because Alex was in Sorrento this past summer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's crazy. Time just flies. But yeah, my view from the office is just the sea and the Bay of Naples. So I'm like, I
Oh,
I don't want to
yes.
be working. I'd like to be there.
Yeah, I took pictures and when I came back, I think I showed everyone like, look at the view from my room in the building where they have class. Like students will be so spoiled to get to wake up and look at that every day. It just makes you want to get outside and explore. So, yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to share all of this information. I'm going to end the